Hey, what is up guys? My name is Grief Drums and today we are going to be taking a look at everything we currently know about Operation Red Crow. So for those of you that have been living under a rock and don't know what the hell's going on, Operation Red Crow will be released on the 17th of November, which is next week. We are going to see a preview of this on the 12th and 13th of November at the Pro League Finals in Katowice, Poland. This seems to be the meta for, all of their releases. They like to promote and do a bit of a live play, just so people can get a feel for what the hell's going to be going on in the next season. I've been getting many questions off of people saying, why haven't you already done a video about this? The reality is, there was a non-disclosure agreement that was broken between people at Ubisoft and stuff like that, and I didn't really want to show that kind of poor footage on my channel. It was cool that everyone got to see the map, but if I'm completely honest, I don't really want to get any copyright bans for stuff that shouldn't have been leaked and that people shouldn't have seen that early, and it kind of ruined it a little bit for people, but at the same time, I guess it's built a bit of a buzz, so, every cloud has a silver lining and all of that. So as you've probably noticed in the background, I've got a couple of videos playing. The first one is the map. Now, the map looks awesome. As we know, it's going to be on top of a skyscraper. It looks like it's going to be sort of a Yakuza mob-style base, the top of a skyscraper. It's where their crime gang can run things. That sort of a place, that sort of a feel to it. It does look like it's going to consist of 4 buildings, and judging by the clip that we get to see of Hibana, you do get to see a little bit of the map. That's actually this section right here that is shown in the video. But one thing that is really, really cool about this map that has been lacking for me in other DLC maps is the fact that this looks really breachable. In my own opinion, both Yacht and Favelas are the worst maps in the game. I really dislike them. Yacht I can deal with, but it just frustrates me that there's so little to be able to breach, and, lines of sight, you can't really make that many new ones. As far as Favelas goes, I really don't like that map. I think it's poorly laid out, and it doesn't really encapsulate, for me, what Siege is about. All that creativity of creating these new lines of sight and attacking from different ways, and, being able to just think outside of the box. You can't really do that with Favelas. It's kind of a spawn peak central, and it's pretty lacking in my opinion. All of the breachable walls are on the outside of the map. Nothing on the inside, or very little on the inside, is breachable. There's no real top-down verticality to the map, and oh my god, it just frustrates me. So the fact that Skyscraper looks like it's going to have a lot of top-down makes me so happy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the operators that we're going to be getting in this DLC. I'm assuming that everyone's already seen them by this point. We're going to have Hibana and Echo. Echo is going to be the defensive operator, and Hibana is actually the attacking operator. This is going to be the first time we see a female attacking operator for DLC. It's all of the females that we've had have actually been defenders. Frost, Valkyrie, and Caveira. So it's going to be cool to mix it up a little bit and see how we get on. Okay, so Hibana is not going to be a direct replacement for Thermite because by the looks of it, her gadget will not allow you entry into rooms through reinforced walls. However, it is going to allow you lines of sight. So pairing her up with Blackbeard is going to be a must, really. These two pairing together is going to be so effective. As soon as she's opened some holes in a reinforced wall that no one's expecting, Blackbeard's going to be shooting through it, and it's game over for the defenders, or it's at least going to be very difficult to sort of deal with that. So according to Hibana's character profile on the Rainbow Six website, she is going to have access to a PM9 as a secondary weapon. This is essentially an Uzi. It's kind of like the SMG-11, really high rate of fire. She is going to have a P229 Sig Sauer available to her as well. But much like Sledge, I can't see anyone taking the pistol when they can take the, the SMG-11, or in this case, the PM9. I've got to be honest, judging by the number of people on the forums that sit and complain about the SMG-11 and how it's a pocket sniper rifle, I am gobsmacked that the devs have been so bold. In the past, when people complained about Blackbeard, his shield got nerfed. People complained about Frost Super 90, it got nerfed. Pulse got nerfed. There's usually, when an outcry happens in the community, the devs listen to that. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I do not want the SMG-11 to be nerfed. I don't think it needs it, and I think a lot of the other things that have been like shotguns probably shouldn't have been. I mean, controversial, I know, but I think it's a really bold move of them to not only go against the community, but to be really cheeky and add another SMG-11 in. Whether this can take an ACOG or not, I don't know, but hey, bold move. I'm impressed. Okay, so she is going to have a Hauer Type 89. This is pretty similar to Thatcher's AR-33, not the way it looks, but certainly the way it performs. It's going to have either a 20 or 30 round Stanag magazine, and it's going to be about 750 rounds per minute. The other gun that Hibana is going to have access to is a Benelli Supernova. This is a pump action shotgun, very similar to the M590A1, the one that the SAS use. It's got the potential to have either a pistol grip or a fixed stock, so it could be like the SAS one. It could be a little bit more similar to the SPAS 12. They are usually equipped with a ghost ring sight. In real life, these actually have an internal magazine of about 5 rounds with 12 gauge shotgun shells. Whether Rainbow incorporate 5 rounds into this game or give her access to a few more shotgun shells, I really don't know at the moment. But I'm interested to see how this performs. So we've just had our first look at Echo. It looks like he is going to have an aerial drone, as most people thought. As you may notice from the video, it looks like you're going to get a green hue when you look through this. Kind of like how Valkyrie's black eye cameras give you a blue tinge to the screen. This is going to obviously give you a green view. The one thing we can take away from this video is that it looks like you're going to be able to leave it hovering in certain rooms, or pretty much anywhere, to get a good view of that room. So I'm really looking forward to getting creative with this and trying to find some brand new hiding places for it. As you'll notice from the video, it looks like he's just going onto his drone, and it does that animation that normal drones do when you first take control of them. There's not a whole lot of information come from this other than the fact that the meta is seriously going to change here. You know, a defender that works like an attacker with a drone by droning a room out first before he goes into it, that's going to be pretty powerful. How many he gets of these, I don't know. Potentially just one, but this guy is going to be a pretty powerful roamer. Caveira is really handy with her silent step. She's difficult to hear, but she goes into rooms very often without knowing what's on the other side of that wall. You know, if there's a black eye camera in there, brilliant, that's handy. This guy is going to be able to look in that room before he goes in there, and he's going to be able to spot people and then take them out effectively, or alternatively work very closely with Caveira as a partnership. I mean, this is going to be formidable. He can drone for her the way the attackers do. So I'm really excited for this. When it comes to Echo's weapons, he is also going to be having a Supernova as well as an MP5 SD4. This is going to be one of his primary weapons that he can choose from. It's very, very similar to Doc and Rook's MP5. However, it's got a built-in suppressor. This is very similar to the MP5 SD6. It's from a whole range from Heckler & Koch. The built-in suppressor is not going to be removable. It's obviously going to do less damage because of this. However, this is going to be a pretty handy thing, especially with his drone, because he's going to be able to move around and pick people off. As far as his weapons go, there are a lot of similarities with Valkyrie, to the extent that her MPX and the MP5 SD4, they're going to be sort of similar. And also the shotguns, there's going to be a comparison there. His secondary weapons, he's also going to have a PM9 and a P229, just as Hibana does. But as the website says, these are going to allow for rapid and precise CQB feats. One thing that I did notice on the website is that in the character bio, it does state that when they were building this character and creating the operator, they were looking at the fact that Japan utilizes a lot of modern technology. Due to the fact that both of these operators are from the SAT, the devs really stood at a crossroad, it says. They wanted to embrace the realism of Siege, but also of the fantasy that shrouds this unit. As far as they're concerned, this gave them the platform to create an operator that could challenge the methods that we've seen in the game to date. Reading this, I don't think his drone is going to be the only special ability he's got. Just as Caveira has 2, Echo could also have 2. Of course, it could just be an extension of his drone, or it could be something that Echo can do himself. I really don't know at this point, but I cannot wait to see these new operators. The last couple of bits we're going to take a look at are the announcement that we're getting a new destruction model and improved hit registration, apparently. The new destruction model is going to look at the caliber of weapons, so if you're using a 9mm pistol, when you shoot a hole in the wall, it shouldn't look the same as a 50 cal. You know, that should make a much bigger hole than the 9mm. So it looks like in Season 4 we're going to be seeing this. This is going to massively change the procedural destruction on the maps and how you can actually shoot through walls. You know, if you shoot it with a 50 cal, you're going to get a great big fucking hole. And if you shoot it with a 9mm, you're obviously going to get a teeny tiny little hole, which means it's going to take a lot more shots to open that up the way you normally would. So it's not all going to be the same. This is something that I am really pleased to see in the game. For me, though, I don't think the game is in a good enough state to start bringing in new aspects like this. I would much rather see things get fixed so that the game remains playable for the foreseeable future, and then slowly bring stuff in, rather than just sort of throw it all out there so we get another season full of bugs and problems and glitches. But, you know, that's probably me just being pessimistic. I am pleased to see this coming into the game. I just think it's a little bit too soon, which sounds daft considering the game has been out for over a year now. But I think it's too soon on the scale of how far things have progressed and how backwards things have gone over the past few seasons. So this brings me on to the improved hit registration, or lack thereof so far. With the recent addition of the Red Crow tab on the Rainbow Six website, there was an announcement from the devs that they know that accurate hit registration is a priority in the community, and they wanted to assure us that it was a priority of the dev team as well. They did go on to say that when they're addressing hit registration, they're looking at a number of things: latency, kill cam replication, and the actual server-side registration of hits. So for those of you that don't know, latency is pretty much your ping. It's how quickly your message can get sent to the server and back. And the server-side registration of hits obviously is the other end of that. It's where your signal gets sent to and how it corresponds to where the other player's positions are. They've apparently fixed an issue relating to network compression that was causing some inaccuracies in hit registration. Now, I'll be completely honest, this is a little bit of gobbledygook to me. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but sounds positive. Alright, cool, great. They do go on to say, however, this should help in certain situations, so the problem isn't fixed. The next thing they mention is that they have found and resolved a movement issue related to stances that would create a misalignment in the head placement when registering a hit. Now, I don't know for sure, but to me this sounds as if when the character's head goes flying backwards when you headshot them. The fact that they're classing that as a movement issue and not a headshot is a real problem for me. When someone's head goes flying backwards, it's because you hit them in the head. It's not anything to do with their character model. It's a serious, serious problem. That is what denotes that you hit them in the head. So removing that is just going to try and cover the fact that you have got a headshot and it didn't recognize it. The last thing they're going to be doing is introducing better ping reporting to help them understand what the variables are when a player experiences a frustrating moment. Now, this doesn't actually say they're fixing the hit registration. This merely says that they're going to be monitoring it and they're going to be looking at what is the problem. A little bit late for that, guys. I mean, I usually sing the devs' praises so much. You know, they have done so much good work for this game, and I'm really, really enjoying the game. But this, to me, just fills me with dread. It doesn't sound to me like they know what the problem is. It doesn't sound like they're moving towards a fix. It sounds like they're starting to look at the problem. And it's probably just the way it's written or the way I'm reading it, but it doesn't exactly fill me with joy and, you know, comfort. The very, very final bit of information that I do have, I cannot remember where the hell I got this from because I screenshotted it on my phone and I haven't got the link to the page again. I can't find it anywhere. But there was a little bit of writing that's pretty much detailed about how Capital might take particular interest in a weapons exhibit on this map. What the hell that means, I don't know. Is there going to be a weapon that you can pick up? Is it going to be something flammable that is asphyxiating bolts can somehow interact with? I really don't know. But I am so stoked for this map and I cannot wait to see it. All of the flanking options, all of the shoji walls that they've explained, how, you know, the thin paper style walls. This is going to be a really cool map. I've got a feeling about this. Okay, so there probably is more information out there on the internet that's been leaked or that's been, you know, let out through official announcements. But if I'm honest, I don't know about it. That is pretty much everything I know about Red Crow. I'm looking forward to playing this. I really cannot wait to play this. Hopefully I'll get my charm this season. For those of you that don't know, I didn't get my diamond charm. I still don't have my diamond charm. So I created another account and I've made diamond on that as well. So I've doubled my chances of actually being able to get a diamond charm from them this season. But hey, fingers crossed. Make sure to tune in on the 12th and 13th. I think the 12th we're getting a preview and the 13th we're actually getting a live play. And this will be out for season pass holders, I believe, on the 17th. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay reckless and relentless.